Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. This is actually the eve of moving. Tomorrow, movers are coming and packing up every single one of these figures because I'm moving from Northern California to Virginia for the military. But before that happened, I wanted to give you guys one last look at the collection, kind of see where some of the updates have been over the past few months, and maybe a look at where things are going to go in the next few weeks as well, because a lot of releases are coming out soon. So starting over here, I'm just going to take care of this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers shelf really quickly. I've got the brand new Silver Psycho Ranger, and as well as every single Figuarts Power Rangers that has ever been released. Down here, we're going to look at the Age of Ultron shelf with the Iron Man Mark 43 Hawkeye. I kind of stole that pose from Justin's collection. So, Justin, if you ever watch this, thank you for the inspiration. Black Widow. That's actually the Winter Soldier Black Widow, but I like the way she looked in that film a lot more than in Age of Ultron, so I just went with that one. Captain America, Quicksilver, Vision. May have to update him when the new Vision comes out from the WandaVision TV show. I'm not quite sure if I like that one yet. I mean, I'm not really sure if it's worth the upgrade, but once it comes out, we'll see if it is. And of course, Vision's true love, Wanda. Down here, we've got the Civil War shelf with Spider-Man, Black Panther, Bucky, another Wanda, Hawkeye with the tiny little Ant-Man on the arrow, Captain America, Falcon, Iron Man, Black Widow, War Machine, and Falcon. So I've never really liked how these have all been kind of like crammed in here all awkwardly. So hopefully in my next place I can get something a little bit more spacious, let them breathe a little bit. And then down here, we have our original Avengers shelf. We've got Bruce Banner, Thor, Captain America. I know the brand new Captain America from the first Avengers movie just came out. I'm going to see if at least I can score the body from that, because this one is good. It has been good for the past 10 years or so, but it's really starting to show its age. The brand new diecast Mark 7, Hawkeye, and of course Loki. I'm going to have to take a look at upgrading him as well. Downhill, we've got the Shield trio with Nick Fury from the Winter Soldier, Phil Coulson, and Maria Hill. We've got Stan Lee, Loki from the Dark World, and of course Ant-Man from the first Ant-Man, and finally Hulk. Moving over here into the first DTOF, we've got 4 Michael Jacksons, the Thriller, Bad, Beat It, and Billie Jean version, as well as a brand new figure, the Freddie Mercury. I really like the way this one turned out. Maybe I'm going to try and find the other one when they do a re-release. And Steve Jobs. Moving up, we have our first video game shelf. Definitely need to find room for this one to breathe a little bit more, especially as more and more Arkham figures get released. We've got Batman, the Joker, the Arkham Knight, and Deathstroke, as well as Nate from Fallout 4 and his trusty companion Dogmeat, and the Nuka-Cola Power Armor. Moving up here, we have the action shelf. So we've got Keanu Reeves as John Wick, Neo, Rick Deckard from Blade Runner, Agent K, Doc, and Marty from Back to the Future 2. So Back to the Future is actually my favorite movie trilogy. I know Hot Toys just announced a huge lineup of new Back to the Future figures. Marty and Doc from Part 3, Doc from Part 1, and a brand new Marty, which I haven't quite decided if I'm going to pick that one up, but I'm leaning towards it. I have to decide it right now. Moving up here, we have got the CW Arrowverse shelf, with the Arrow, a Flash that I actually put together from some pieces, which I'm actually pretty happy with. I don't really see a need to upgrade to Hot Toys, but we'll see. Zoom, Supergirl, Constantine, and the Tyler Hoechlin Superman. I'm hoping we get a proper release of him, because right now this is just a custom. As well as the brand new Arrow figure. Moving over here into the Doctor Who shelf, we've got the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th Doctors, as well as the War Doctor back there. I know Big Chief just announced a brand new lineup of all these new era Doctors. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really digging the way that they turned out. There's some problems with the tailoring. Specifically, I don't like on how the David Tennant figure tailoring, they seem to put it like on a normal body instead of it really should have been slim. Kind of throws the whole look off, but we'll see. These figures always tend to look better in hand than they do, on the computer. So hopefully that'll be the case with those as well. Moving down here to the X-Men shelf, we've got Storm, Iceman, Professor X, Magneto, as well as Cyclops, who is my favorite X-Men. Logan back there, as well as Deadpool, who just is happy to be here. Moving down here, Captain America shelf, no updates since last time. We've got the Star Spangled Man rescue cap from Captain America 1, Winter Soldier, which I am still really hoping for an upgrade on that, especially after Endgame. Steve Rogers in the back there. We've got the Red Skull, Agent Carter, as well as Bucky. And for those of you wondering when the new Captain Carter figure comes out, definitely planning on picking that up. Down here, in a Marvel TV shows, we've got Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Punisher, Iron Fist, Ghost Rider, and Luke Cage. The one figure that's not in here that I may try and customize at some point is a Kilgrave figure from Jessica Jones. As you guys could probably tell, I'm a huge David Tennant fan, and when he played that villain, definitely one of my favorite Marvel villains. Although, granted, that's from a series that's been known in the past for having somewhat weak villains, so take that as you will. Either way, I think it'd be a cool figure to have. Moving over here into horror, we've got Michael Myers, Hannibal Lecter, Ash, Dexter. I may actually put together a newer Dexter figure from the new series for those of you who haven't checked it out yet. It's actually surprisingly good. I was not expecting that, so we'll see if the rest of the season can live up to the premiere. Rick Grimes, as well as a Michael Myers figure from 2018. This is the Trick or Treat Studios version. I'm going to be honest, all the promo images I've seen of this figure made it look really cheap, but when I actually saw it in person, it turned out really well. So I actually dug it, picked it up, may pick up some of the others too, as well as Chucky and Sam. These are NECA figures, not actually technically 1/6, but hey, they do the job well enough, so at least until better alternatives come around, I'm liking these two. Moving up into here, another video game shelf. We've got Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us. Some of you have been asking if I'm going to get The Last of Us Part 2 figures, and the answer to that is probably not. As well as Nathan Drake from Uncharted 2, 3, and 4, my favorite video game series of all time. One figure that I think I am going to put back here that I actually just got in the mail today, I haven't really had time to set it up yet, is Arthur Morgan from Red Dead 2. So hopefully in the next video I can get a cool shot of him. Like I said, I just got him today. I haven't even opened him up yet, but I'm really liking some of the figure pictures that I've seen online. So maybe I can get something looking almost as good as some of these other folks have. Moving up here, we've got Sherlock, Jesse and Walter from Breaking Bad, Dr. Gregory House, as well as a Rocketeer. So they've actually announced a new Sherlock figure about a year ago. I've been following that on pre-order for a while. I'm hoping to upgrade this one because that new one is looking pretty sweet. And this one was really good for its time when I put it together in 2015, but it's starting to show its age. As well, they've also announced a new Rocketeer figure. So once again, this one was pretty good. I put it together from old G.I. Joe parts, but you know, could always do for something looking a little bit better, so hopefully that one will turn out good. Moving up here, we've got the Nolan Batman shelf with Batman Begins, Batman from The Dark Knight, Harvey Dent, Bane, Catwoman, a Bruce Wayne, and Scarecrow. So there was a Ra's al Ghul figure that came out a few months ago. Hoping to track down that one eventually too, because Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul is one of my favorite movie villains, and it'd be really cool to have a figure of him. Moving over here, this is kind of the film classics shelf. I consider this sort of like the centerpiece of my collection, kind of what always draws the eye. We've got James Bond from Skyfall, the old version of Marty McFly. Like I said, I haven't really decided if I'm picking up the new version yet. Harry Potter from the Sorcerer's Stone, as well as Indiana Jones. So his outfit is about half Hot Toys at this point and half just other pieces I've put together. They've actually got a new outfit on order. So when we get this new outfit, pretty much every single piece of this, except for I think the shoes and the stand, are not going to be Hot Toys anymore. So at that point, I know we talked about the Ship of Theseus last time. It really will be a whole new figure. Moving down here to Guardians, not much change since last time. We've got Rocket, Yondu, Star-Lord from Part 2, Drax, Gamora, and of course, Baby and Adult Groot. Gamora is the only one in this I think I may upgrade. I've seen pictures of the Infinity War version. It looks really good. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Down here, getting into the Terminator shelf with the T-1000, the T-800, Uncle Bob from Part 2, John and Sarah Connor, as well as the T-800 from Part 1, and this T-1000 statue that came with the DX13. So I know it's not technically a figure, but I just thought it looked cool, so I'm sticking it back there. One person that is not in this shelf that I always wanted to get is a Kyle Reese figure. So Kyle Reese is actually one of my favorite movie heroes, and I've always wanted a figure of him. I consider it to be kind of a grail, so hopefully someday in one of these videos I can surprise you guys with finally getting a custom of him in here. Down here is the Supernatural shelf. We got Dean, Sam, the other Dean from 3-0, which, this one is the custom I put together. This is the one that I bought. I actually like my custom a little bit better. I think it looks a little bit more like him, and this 3-0 one, it was always a bad elephant in the room for me that they never released a Sam, especially after Dean, and, how can you have only one half of the Winchester trio? And we got Castiel back there with that custom head sculpt that I still hate, so I still pray every day that someday they'll release a better 1/6 version of him, as well as John Winchester. Getting over here, we have a few new additions in the Assassins shelf. We've got Connor Ezio, the brand new Ezio figure that just got released, Altair, Edward Kenway, Shay Cormac. We've got the Ezio from Revelations, as well as Aguilar from the movie, which, not my favorite movie, but I think this guy looks really awesome, as well as Bayek. And for those of you wondering, yes, I am definitely going to go get Alexios when he comes out. I just have no clue where I'm going to put him, but whatever, cross that bridge when we get to it. Moving up here, we've got some figures from my favorite book series of all time, The Cosmere by Brandon Sanderson. As huge of a fan as I am of Hot Toys figures, I think the only thing I'm more of a fan of is Brandon Sanderson. So I made sense that I had to have figures from the books. We've got Vin, Elend, and Kelsier from the Mistborn series, Wax and Wayne from Mistborn Era 2, and Kaladin from the Stormlight Archive. I actually have a new coat that I commissioned from G-Wiz Customs that should be here any day now. Hopefully we'll fit him a little bit better. But if you guys have never heard of the Cosmere or the Stormlight Archive or Mistborn, check them out because they are, as much as I nerd out about a lot of the stuff in this case, those books I nerd out about just as much. So whatever, take it as you will. There's my pitch. Harry Potter shelf up here. We've got Harry, Dumbledore, Snape, Voldemort. We've got Hermione, Sirius Black, and of course Bellatrix Lestrange. I may get a Ron at some point just to complete the trio, and of course Draco. But actually one that I would love to get is a young Tom Riddle from Part 2. I think that would just always thought that would have been a cool figure. I loved how, the Tom Riddle from Part 2 was just so, very subtly sinister as composed to the, over-the-top Damon from the Omian type person we got in Part 6. So, hey, hopefully they'll release that someday. Moving up here to Game of Thrones, we've got Tyrion, Daenerys, Jon Snow, Cersei. We've got Jaime Lannister, Tywin Lannister, Ned Stark, and the Hound. I know I've said it before, I was not a big fan of Season 8, so that's why I kind of stopped collecting these. But, in the past few months, I've kind of reevaluated the show, and still don't like Season 8, but I'm not going to let it ruin all the good times that the show gave me. So, you know what, maybe I will go back and get a Brienne or Joffrey later on. We'll see. Moving over here to the Power Rangers shelf. So these figures are not long for this world. I bought the 3-0 versions. They're actually sitting in a box downstairs right now. It's just with me about to move, I really don't want to change them out at the last second. So, these are, this is probably the last time these will be on display. I'm actually probably going to sell them, so if any of you are looking for a set, I will give you a good deal on this bunch. And seen on the stands, which I designed, and some guy in China stole and is selling copies of right now. So if you see these for sale anywhere, I did design these. I hope you enjoy the designs, but I did not authorize them to be sold. So it is what it is. Moving down here, this is one of the new Star Wars shelves. I got the Mandalorian with 2 versions of Grogu. And actually a new edition that I just got is Maul here. So I think he's looking pretty good, even though I know him and the Mandalorian, as of now, never met. And let's be honest, probably never will, although that would be awesome. I don't know. I think he does good back here. One of the things I've definitely got to do at my new place is find an expanded way to display the Mandalorian, because of all the pre-orders that I have over the next 2 years, more than half of them are from this show. So got to figure something out because they will all not fit in here. Down here, we get to Firefly, River Tam, never liked that body, got to switch it out at some point. Malcolm Reynolds, Zoe, Jane Cobb, Simon, Wash, and Kaylee. And finally, down here, we've got our action heroes shelf with Judge Dredd and Judge Anderson. Harry Hart from Kingsman, always wish they would bring out a better figure of him, although this one's not bad. We've got John McClane from Die Hard. Christmas is coming up, so gotta watch that again. As well as Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 6, to be specific, one of the best movies that has come out in the past few years. As well as Jack Harper from Oblivion, one of my favorite favorite action movies. It was very underrated. There's a blank space here, though. And someday, I hope they come out with a William Cage figure from Edge of Tomorrow, because that is one of my favorite movies that Tom Cruise has been in. And I think he'd make an awesome figure, too. Moving over here, this is book characters. We've got Harry Dresden and Michael Carpenter from the Dresden Files. Both customs. We've got Wesley from The Princess Bride, Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. Not a great figure, but I did love that series. And Hannibal Lecter from the TV show. This is a custom, never really liked the way it turned out, so I'm probably going to see if I can find some alternative for him at some point. New addition up here, we've got James Kirk and Spock from Star Trek, Admiral William Adama from Battlestar Galactica, as well as Captain Picard. And the first Doctor figure, which was actually put together from spare parts, which I've told you guys before. And one that I got a couple weeks ago, the third Doctor. So here he is in all his glory, looking very inquisitive. Couldn't really come up with a cool pose for him, though, so if any of you guys have some ideas, just let me know. Moving up here, this is kind of a mishmash of figures that I don't really have any room for. We've got two versions of Wonder Woman from the original movie. I will not be getting any from the sequel because wasn't a massive fan of that. We've got Wolverine from the Wolverine movie, as well as Spider-Man and Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home. And then up here, we have got two figures from Smallville, Clark Kent and Lex Luthor, as well as Superman, Christopher Reeve, and the Henry Cavill Superman. Swinging all the way over here, we're going to get to the main Star Wars cabinets. Really need room to branch out, especially if they actually are going to be releasing all of those projects that Disney keeps claiming they will be. Here's the New Hope shelf. We've got Luke, Han, Princess Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewbacca. Now, C-3PO is actually the Sideshow one from a few years ago. I know Hot Toys came out with one that is technically a little bit better, but I don't know. I'm still digging this one, at least not enough where I really feel need to upgrade, so doing fine with that. Over here, more New Hope characters. We've got Stormtrooper, Grand Moff Tarkin, Obi-Wan Kenobi, an X-Wing pilot Luke Skywalker, and Darth Vader. Down here, the Empire Strikes Back shelf. We've got Han Solo Frozen in Carbonite. That is a cheap knockoff, not the Sideshow version. There is no way I was going to be paying $250 for a plastic block, so this one does fine. Luke and Battle Damage Luke from Empire. Boba Fett, I know this one is actually from Return of the Jedi, but, you know, it looks fine. And Princess Leia and Yoda. I will be getting Lando, too. I know Lando just got released, so hopefully within a month or two I'll be able to pick him up. And then the Return of the Jedi shelf with the Emperor's Guard, the Emperor himself, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, and of course, Slave Leia. You know, I know that Disney's trying to move away from Slave Leia, but she's just such an iconic costume and such a memorable part of that film that hopefully someday Hot Toys will be able to come out with some version of her. Down here, we've got our Episode 1 and 2 shelf with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn from Episode 1, Darth Maul and Count Dooku from Episode 2. I know Obi-Wan is the original Sideshow release from like 8 years ago now at this point, so I'm hoping someday Hot Toys comes out with an upgrade for him, at least on this chunky lightsaber. But overall, he's held up fair enough. What do you guys think? Then over here, we have got Obi-Wan and Anakin from Episode 3, Jyn Erso from Rogue One, Solo from Solo, and this Obi-Wan figure the Sideshow put out a few years ago from kind of his between time, between episodes 3 and 4. You know, it was a really cool idea for a figure, but I can never quite figure out what pose to put him in. So, I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts? And down here, we're getting into the new series. We have got from The Force Awakens, Finn, Han Solo, Rey, Kylo, and a First Order Stormtrooper, as well as BB-8, of course, as well as Rey and Kylo from The Last Jedi, and Rey and Luke Skywalker from the end of The Force Awakens. So I got one more space to put something here. Still not quite sure what I'm going to put here, but I'm thinking maybe a Princess Leia, because, General Leia. Because, I don't know, that was a character that I really liked in the originals. Don't really think she got enough credit in the sequel trilogy, but still, that from what I've seen, that figure of her is gorgeous. So maybe one day I'll be able to pick one up, even though it is long sold out. And finally, we have got all of these figures up here. So starting over here with the Phase 3 shelf, I was not sure I could get this many figures in here, but after fiddling around for a while, I kind of got this... looks like a movie poster almost, and I thought it might be too crammed at first, but I thought it turned out okay. So we've got Doctor Strange from the Doctor Strange movie. I am still trying to hunt down that Caecilius figure that was released by a third party. You know, for months, like every so often, I just go on eBay and try and see if I could find one for sale, and never been able to find one. We have got Hela, Thor, and Loki from Ragnarok, or more accurately, this is more Loki from Infinity War. This 10-year anniversary Captain America. Spider-Man from Homecoming. We have got T'Chaka. That spear did not come with him, but I just thought it looked cool, so I added it. Captain Marvel. And, of course, Killmonger and the Ancient One from Doctor Strange. Moving over here to the Infinity War shelf, we've got War Machine, Rocket, and Groot. The Winter Soldier, Captain America, Thor, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and of course the man himself, Thanos. From Endgame, we've got Wasp and Ant-Man, Nebula, as well as War Machine. Black Widow, Captain America, this one's new. Iron Man, although this is a third-party head sculpt, not really digging it. Gotta see if I can replace it at some point. As well as Hawkeye. So actually, I just got told yesterday that the rescue armor, the Pepper Potts one, which is going to go right here, is charging this week. So I just missed putting it in here, unfortunately. But next collection video, you'll be able to see it. And then as well, the Spider-Man video game shelf. We've got the Iron Spider, Spider-Noir, the Iron Spider Mark III, the negative suit, Spider-Man 2099, Scarlet Spider. We've got the stealth suit from Far From Home, as well as the Anti-Ox suit, the Spider-Punk suit, the original Spider-Man suit from Tobey Maguire, and as well, the famous suit with my favorite Spider-Man actor of all time, Andrew Bubniak. Like I told you guys in the last video, it was a huge blow for me when they replaced him with that new guy, who I just think isn't as great of a Spider-Man. So, you know, fingers crossed they'll be able to work something out to bring Andrew back, because this guy was everything that Peter Parker should be. So, for whatever it's worth, that's my 2 cents. Then finally, up here, we have got the Iron Man shelf. So we have got War Machine Mark I, Iron Patriot, and War Machine Mark II from Iron Man 3. It's actually a design that never made it in the movie. They kind of put a modified version of it in Age of Ultron. And my very, very old original release of the Mark II, which, you know, it's showing its age, but it's my very first Hot Toys figure, so I'm still going to hold on to it. We've got Tony Stark from Infinity War, as well as the Mark 47 from Spider-Man Homecoming. We've got the Silver Centurion, the Velocity suit, the Heartbreaker, as well as the Mark 42 from Iron Man 3, and the original lineup of the original 6 Marks themselves. You know, I know they just announced the diecast version of the Mark I, and I've upgraded all the rest of these, but honestly, this plastic one, especially for just being up here tucked away, looks fine. I know this is the suit that started it all, started the entire MCU, but I don't know. We'll see when it comes out, but right now I don't feel a huge need to upgrade. Finally, going over here, this is kind of the spare shelf, stuff I don't have room for. We've got the old Ezio from Hot Toys. I'll probably sell it or something, as well as Colossus from We have got the TARDIS from Doctor Who, as well as the Weeping Angel. And also Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So I wasn't going to pick this one up, but I saw it in a shop on sale for like $70. And I couldn't really pass up that deal. And I don't know. I think it still is a pretty good figure, even though I don't love the movie. And finally, we've got this strapping young lad here that is actually me from a figure. It was kind of this 3D print shop in the Mall of America that I went to a couple years ago. And now I get to hang out outside of the TARDIS with Emma Watson all day. You know, if there was a heaven, this is what it would look like. So anyway, that is the collection. The biggest thing right now, obviously, besides just getting it to the new place and getting it all set up, is, finding room to expand in the future. So right now, this is doing okay. However, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I have on pre-order next year. Back to the Future is going to need its own shelf at some point. Same with Phase 4. We had a lot of cool TV shows coming out in the past year and all the figures from them. And The Mandalorian, like I said, we need room to space out. So I noticed over here, where Mini-Me and Emma Watson and the TARDIS are hanging out with a weeping angel. We can probably fit another one of these storage units right here, as well as I want to fit another one on top of here to give these figures down here a little bit more breathing room. So I'm thinking maybe I could put one here. Phase 4 figures will go there. Put another one on top of here, and that's where I'll put the Civil War figures and kind of space out Age of Ultron, the original Avengers. And then maybe, if I still have room and patience, another one on top of these two Detolfs, and then put Mandalorian figures in there. I don't know. What do you guys think? A lot of stuff to ponder, especially as I move and set up the collection. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys this one last tour of the place before she all gets packed up tomorrow. I've loved living here. I've loved living in California, even though it's expensive. And this room has been a great place to hold my collection. But, times change and so must I. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, like, share, and subscribe if you like what you saw and want to see more. And, I look forward to seeing you next time. Anyway, later, guys.